Welcome to Ahmed's World Supernatural, where we delve into the fascinating realms of folklore, myths, and legends from around the globe. In this episode, we embark on a journey to explore the enigmatic being known as Albasti, a malevolent presence deeply ingrained in the beliefs and traditions of the Turkic peoples residing in the vast regions, spanning from the Altay Mountains to the Volga River. Join us as we unravel the mysteries surrounding this puerperal demon and dive into the rich tapestry of stories and rituals associated with its presence. Albasti is a malevolent being widely recognized among Turkic peoples residing in the regions, spanning from the Altay Mountains through the Caucasus and extending up to the Volga River. On the Eurasian Steppe, for example, Albasti was first and foremost a puerperal demon. In this territory, specialists, kuuču, were called in to keep away or oust the demon at birth. Many recorded legends and memorates concern healing methods and the process of becoming a healer. In contrast, epic texts or narratives are rarer in the Volga region, yet there are certain verbal incantations against the Albasti, which here is rather a push or disease demon. The belief in Albasti has a rich historical background and can also be observed in the myths and beliefs of neighboring peoples, to the Turks. Among all the mythical creatures in Turkic folklore, Albasti has received the most extensive attention in literature. While much of the literature focuses on exploring the possible origins of the term, there are also numerous ethnographic descriptions available, although original texts are limited, with many summaries and interpretations being more commonly found. Albasti, the daemon, is found among Turkic peoples in four major regions: the Eurasian Steppe, Siberia, the area encompassing the Kama and Volga rivers, and particularly in the middle and northern regions of the Caucasus Mountains. However, it is worth noting that the Oghuz peoples, Turkish, Azerbaijani, Turkmenian, are not familiar with this specific daemon. Nevertheless, similar creatures exist among them, designated by other names such as Al or Yerim Adam. According to the prevailing belief, Albasti is commonly portrayed as a puerperal daemon with potential harm to both the mother and the newborn. It is believed that Albasti can pose a significant threat, even leading to the death of an expectant mother during childbirth. The primary summaries consistently describe Albasti as a female figure with long and tangled hair, distinguished by her large breasts that she throws over her shoulders. In the majority of mythical stories surrounding the puerperal daemon and methods of protection against it, Albasti often takes the form of an animal, such as a dog or ram. It is depicted carrying human lungs in its mouth and searching for flowing water like a river or stream to discard the lungs into. According to the belief, Albasti extracts the lungs of a woman during childbirth, but the victim does not succumb to death until the daemon disposes of the lungs in water. However, legends suggest that Albasti can be intercepted before finding water, thereby saving the mother. Only individuals with special abilities possess the capability to recognize Albasti and are also able to defeat it. The daemon must be vigorously beaten and forced to retreat. Among the Kyrgyz and Kazakh peoples, the person chosen for this task is not always the Baksi, a local term for a shaman, although there are stories of a specific Albasti exorcist by that name. The individual most suitable for the role is referred to as kuuču, derived from the verb kuuču, meaning to drive out, herd, or expel. Among the Kyrgyz, there are sources indicating that while the Baksi can drive out the less dangerous yellow Albasti, which primarily causes diseases, they are unable to do the same for the more perilous black Albasti, representing the actual puerperal daemon. Numerous first-person accounts, including those shared by the kuuču themselves, describe how individuals become kuuču. These stories often emphasize the element of chance, with individuals realizing their unique abilities unexpectedly. For instance, when they encounter an animal carrying human lungs, they immediately recognize it as an Albasti. This recognition is mutual, as the Albasti can also identify those individuals who can perceive its presence and have the power to defeat it. Consequently, there are instances where no physical confrontation occurs, and the Albasti does not endure any beating. Upon arriving at a house recently attacked by the Albasti, the kuuču simply greets the occupants, declaring, "The hero has arrived." This causes the Albasti to flee immediately. Additionally, there is a source mentioning a kuuču who only sent his clothes to the house where a woman was giving birth, and this alone was sufficient for the birth to proceed without any complications. According to the account of Suli Mankal, he recounts how he became a kuuču in the following story. One night, on my way home from a visit, I stopped behind a big poplar tree. From there I saw a great fire burning in the distance. Two Albastis were playing around the fire. I went closer and they did not notice me. I grabbed one of them and started to beat it hard. It yelled in a human voice. I am dancing around, Suleiman Ake. I am not going to the place. You are going. Let me go. I did not let it go and carried on beating it. Then it gave me one of its hairs. Then I let it go. That was the time I became a kuuču. Among the Turkic people in Siberia, where shamanism persisted until the early 20th century, there are two interconnected concepts associated with the Albasti. Firstly, it is regarded as an evil spirit that brings diseases, particularly psychiatric disorders and insanity, to people. Secondly, its role is linked to the activities of the shaman. In the mythology of certain Siberian Turkic regions, the Albasti is depicted as a female forest spirit, who engages in sexual encounters with men engaged in logging or hunting in the forest. Stories concerning the Albasti are widespread among the Bashkirs. For instance, a recorded text from 1906 recounts an incident where an old woman living next door is believed to be an Albasti. The Albasti takes the form of a little girl and appears to a young boy who is home alone. However, a few days later, the family dog consumes the supposed Albasti. Among the Tartars, the Albasti is notorious as a pushdemon that forcefully shoves people, whether they are asleep or awake. During these encounters, the individuals being pushed experience immobilization, a heavy pressure around their heart, and a choking sensation in their throat. Victims are said to be able to escape the assault by moving their little finger. According to Christian Tartar accounts, the Albasti primarily attacks during Christmas, knocking people from the front and forcefully pushing them to the ground, rendering them completely immobile under its weight. Some Tartar sources mention that Albasti not only pushes people but also sucks their blood. One or two sources also suggest that the Albasti is a creature capable of driving horses and generating wind. The physical appearance of the Albasti varies across different sources. While the typical depiction of a long-haired, large-breasted woman is not as prevalent, some sources describe it as a human-like figure, while others liken it to a large haystack. Among the Chuvash people, who primarily encounter the Albasti through incantations, defining the term presented challenges in early 20th century sources. Essentially, three different models of the creature are known. One suggests that the Albasti is an unspecified form of evil that can attach itself to a person. Another source claims that the Albasti appears as a maiden to young boys and as a lad to young girls, with a prohibition against turning around when it departs. Disregarding this prohibition results in the Albasti saying, "Do not tell anyone," and assaulting the person. Although the source is somewhat vague, it may be linked to the belief that the Albasti only appears human from the front, lacking a back and revealing its entrails. A similar belief exists among the Tuva, where a creature appears as a boy to girls and as a girl to boys. The Albasti may have been notorious among the Chuvash as a pushdemon, as indicated in some sources. If a person experienced intense bone pain or was pushed at night, even if attributed to an evil spirit called Uzul, the Alpasta incantation had to be employed. The text of the incantation clearly indicates that the Albasti is now interpreted solely as an elusive and difficult to describe evil spirit that appears in various forms. As we conclude our exploration of Albasti, we have witnessed the diverse facets of this malevolent entity across the Eurasian Steppe and the Volga region. From its association with childbirth and the need for specialist intervention to its role as a disease demon, the Albasti has left an indelible mark on the beliefs and practices of the Turkic peoples. We hope you enjoyed this captivating journey through the supernatural realm and invite you to join us again on Ahmed's World Supernatural, where we continue to unravel the mysteries that lie beyond the veil of the ordinary. Don't forget to like and subscribe.